Good evening, you're watching Mission 2024. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. What is the Congress's game plan as it goes towards its own Mission 2024? Does the Congress finally have a poll plan in place, especially where state elections in the winters are coming up? Well, we're going to get you the inside scoop on that. Let me first take you through the headlines. BJP IT cell chief Amit Malviya booked over animated Rahul Gandhi video. FIR filed after Karnataka. Congress complained. BJP calls it vendetta. Union Minister Smriti Irani tears into Rahul Gandhi, questions why Rahul met George Soros' aide in the United States. Alleges Rahul linked to Soros and Jamaat Islami. Big twist to Karnataka freebies fight after FCI stalls rice sale. Karnataka government to now offer cash instead of rice to BPL cardholders. Protests at Kadalore's Chidambaram temple as priests allege takeover bid by Stalin government. Cops enter sanctum of Nathara temple. Priests say cops manhandled them. A big political war over India's US drone deal. Congress Lincoln's Predator drone deal to Rafale. Navy chief speaks to India today on drones and its features.
से क्या है हमारा एरिया ऑफ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी को अच्छी तरह सर्वेलेंस और रिकग्निशंस कर सकते हैं. नया वाला प्रेडेटर 9B में होगा तो जब वो आएगा तो हमारा कैपेबिलिटी डेफिनेटली बढ़ेगा.
Politics erupts over ODI World Cup. Congress Aam Aadmi Party fume over no matches in Kerala and Mohali. BCCI VP Rajiv Shukla says ICC decides venues for World Cup. Sensational revelations, COVID-19 origin. Researcher claims COVID-19 virus was made in China as a bioweapon. All right, top story. Battle lines are drawn for Mission 2024, especially where state elections are in order. The Congress party is also gearing up for the big 2024 Lok Sabha battle as well as state elections that are coming up in the winters of 2023. And it's on the verge of revamping AICC, where the team CWC is concerned. The Congress Working Committee, while also keeping its focus on the upcoming state elections, including a crucial strategy meet on Chhattisgarh state polls. After that, of course, was Madhya Pradesh and then Rajasthan. In a big India Today scoop with the new CWC team, the Grand Old Party will overhaul organizational leadership with maybe possible, and it's speculative as of now, and we're going to get you more details. Will Priyanka Gandhi be all set and cut out for maybe a bigger political role, where she moves from a campaigner Priyanka Gandhi Vadra to a contender Priyanka or a candidate Priyanka Gandhi. The young Gandhi scion has already spearheaded election campaigns in poll-bound states like Madhya Pradesh and now might be offered the position of party general secretary. All of that speculative in nature. The upcoming reshuffle is expected to be carried out meticulously under the Congress chief Kharge's leadership, and the list might be out in the next week from now. But what is the Congress's game plan going ahead, where their Mission 2024 is concerned? It does seem, and we're going to play those graphics out for our viewers, that the Congress is going to start with using Karnataka elections as their playbook. We're going to, cut across and get you those graphics there that we are playing. I want to cut across right now to our panelists this evening who are going to give us the inside details. Does the Congress finally have a poll plan, a consistent poll plan? And also, what would be the possible roles of the two Gandhis going ahead? A lot of that speculative in nature, we do understand. But the Congress seemingly is going by a playbook, especially where Karnataka is concerned, on how it wants to go ahead, where the elections in the winters of 2023 are concerned. Cutting across to Rashid Kidwai, author, political commentator in the studio with us, consulting editor Rajdeep Sardesai. We are also joined by R.K. Upadhyay, political analyst and columnist. Rajdeep, let's begin with you. The Congress, fresh out of a big win in Karnataka, has a number of elections lined up, especially where the Hindi heartland is concerned. What do you think is going to be the Congress poll strategy?
I think what is very clear, Preeti, after Karnataka is that the Congress believes that they have a far better chance in state elections possibly than the Lok Sabha. The Congress recognizes that the more you localize the election, the more you empower local units, the more you have a clear strategy that is state-specific, constituency-specific, you have a better chance than making the election Modi versus Rahul. That is very clear. And you're going to see that in state after state which is going to the polls in the winter. The sense one gets is that the Congress has recognized the benefits of hyper-localizing the elections, offering state-specific promises, capitalizing where possible, as in Karnataka, on anti-incumbency by targeting the state government, not necessarily targeting the Modi government, not necessarily pitching the Gandhis as the focus, but giving those local state leaders greater empowerment than whether it's a Bhupesh Baghel in Chhattisgarh, a Kamal Nath in Madhya Pradesh, or indeed an Ashok Gehlot. And, you know, nothing to my mind represents what's transformed in the last couple of months than Mr. Gehlot. If you see the manner in which Ashok Gehlot appears to have almost reinvented himself, Preeti, in an election where most analysts are saying the Congress is on the back foot. Most analysts believe that in Rajasthan the Congress is facing...
But Rajdeep, the new internal surveys of the Congress has suddenly pitched Ashok Gehlot, what was flagging at one point of time, as a popular leader now.
You know what Ashok Gehlot has done? What was Ashok Gehlot's weakness? He was just not an effective communicator. So when you have schemes like the Chiranjeevi scheme that provides, you know, health insurance on a scale which is much larger than most states, how do you project it to people? How do you take up issues related to price rise? I am told in the next few days he's going to slash petrol duties on petrol prices by a large amount. So you'll suddenly find Ashok Gehlot trying to create new talking points, small videos. He's even got a social media team aggressively putting out videos.
Rozgar Mela.
So I think suddenly you have the Congress recognizing the importance of running campaigns that are far more localized, empowering state leaders. I see that as their template across the states. It may not be uniformly successful, but at least they seem to have a playbook in mind. Even candidate selection, announcing them much earlier, preparing for them much earlier, doing it on the basis, you say, of internal surveys, not necessarily the usual faction fighting. So, you know, as a final point, it's almost a surprise in all these three states which are going to the polls, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan, the Congress's internal faction fighting this time seems less than the BJP's. The BJP still doesn't know what to do with Vasundhara Raje in Rajasthan. Shivraj Singh Chauhan suffers to some element from a fatigue factor, and there are people sniping against him both below and above. And in Chhattisgarh, the BJP hasn't been able to work out a post-Raman Singh leadership. So I think in a strange way, while the Congress will still find it tough to take on the BJP's battle-hardened machine, at the center, in states, the Congress is getting its act together.
Rashid Kidwai, is there now a cohesive plan, and which possibly is borrowed from what went down in Karnataka? Because we've been on multiple debates, Rashid, with you, with Rajdeep, where during the Karnataka poll, we are like, okay, is this the moment that the Congress is going to implode? Is this going to happen now? They ran a stunning campaign in Karnataka where they kept their lot together, made the campaign hyper-local, where guarantees were the focus, deliverables were the focus, candidate selection, very interesting, no favoritism, no factionalism, but ultimately on internal surveys, all of that. What are you picking up from your sources within the Congress, Rashid?
Yes, so I think, Preeti, you are right about this, a kind of confidence and gung-ho in the Congress camp relating to this coming elections. But I am not so sure. I was very, very attentively to my friend Rajdeep Sardesai, but I am not too sure about, the political arithmetic getting it right in Rajasthan, where there is a huge factional fight. If you go to Jaipur, you go to Udaipur, you go to Jaisalmer, any town of Rajasthan, you hear the story of Ashok Gehlot versus Sachin Pilot.
Right.
And the past track record of Mr. Gehlot has not been very impressive, in the sense that twice he became Chief Minister in 1998 and 2013. Both times the Congress ended up losing, badly. So he has not led Congress to victory. So this is something that I think the Congress has to get its act together in Rajasthan. But yes, in Madhya Pradesh, where there is a kind of Congress is working as a great, in a cohesive manner. They have got a lot of plans, and even the surveys are showing that the Congress has has a head start. And some of the polls are also saying that.
But Rashid, if one is to go by internal surveys, where I would reckon the point that even Rajdeep was making, which you disagree with, is drawn from the fact that in terms of popularity of the incumbent chief of Rajasthan, Gehlot, it's drawn at the back of internal surveys. It's the Rozgar Mela. It is, a cylinder which is still at 500 rupees in Rajasthan, while it's over 1,000 rupees across the country. Where it's electricity, where he's gone 2 steps ahead of the Aam Aadmi Party, and all of that now publicized in a manner where it's reflecting in internal surveys.
I'm glad, Preeti, you raised this point. See, for any incumbent government, whether it's Ashok Gehlot government or Shivraj Singh Chauhan government, if you give a lot of doles in the last year of your tenure, see, then it's not been very effective. All this thing about that Labharti thing, I think is exaggerated. If you look at Rahat camps and all, people, it's a media management or some terms of optics. The fact of the matter, people ask that Ashok Gehlot has been chief minister for 5 years. If people could not get 2 square meals, if they had to walk, 20 kilometers, 30 kilometers in a state like Rajasthan and go to Rahat camp to get, food and other this thing, it raises a big question mark. The same thing is about Shivraj Singh Chauhan saying about Ladli Behna scheme and all. Because in the routine, mechanism, if the state is not been able to deliver, then it raises a big question mark. I may be wrong, but that's how I look at it.
All right. Mr. Kidwai, stay with us. Let's also bring in Mr. Upadhyay, R.K. Upadhyay, political analyst. Mr. Upadhyay, how do you look at, possibly what Congress feels is a resurgent Congress riding at the back of what now many political analysts view as the Karnataka model? Do you see it's too simplistic?
Well, after promising 5 guarantees, the Congress government in Karnataka is struggling to, give any shape to any one of them. In fact, only one has been rolled out so far. That is a Shakti program, that is for women to travel free. So even that is in a complete mess because, there's so much of rush that, women are finding it very difficult to even get into the bus. The regular employees, the people who have to reach their offices are finding it difficult. So there is a lot of, chaos during about that particular scheme. And then the second one, which they plan to roll out from July 1, that is the Annabhagya, where Siddaramaiah, wants to give, 10 kilos of rice. And there is a big controversy about that because he is now trying to include the 5 kilos which the central government is already giving. And the BJP stand is, you promise 10 kilos to everyone and you have to give those 10 kilos. Don't include the 5 kilos that the central government is giving. So today at the cabinet meeting, the Siddaramaiah government decided that they're not able to source the additional 5 kilos. So they have decided to give 34 rupees per head, to family. So, and the whole thing is in a mess at the moment. So 34 per head. So how many people are you going to give in a family? Is there a age limit for people? How are you going to include the persons who are in the family? If there are 6 people with teenagers of let's say 14 years, 16 years, are you going to include them? Do they not consume as much rice as the elders? So will they also be included? If they are included, will they get this kind of a subsidy that you're talking about, 34 rupees per head? So where are you going to source this money? I mean, all this has become a big problem. And they're not even talking about rolling out the other 2, that is, 2,000 rupees to women of the head of the family.
Right.
And then for the unemployed youth. So all this, is caught up, in this jam. I don't know how the Congress party can bring about these kind of schemes in other states because it's become a complete mess.
Well, Rajdeep, do you want to weigh in on that? You're trying to look for chinks in the BJP armor where the BJP-run states are concerned. You have very well in your own, where you're looking at the Karnataka model.
Look, the Karnataka model will be, the fate of Siddaramaiah will be decided on how effectively he rolls out these guarantees. If he's not able to roll out the guarantees effectively, he will pay a price, the Congress will pay a price in Karnataka. But you see, the template therefore varies from state to state depending on how effective you are. If you're in power, how effectively have you rolled out government schemes? If you're in the opposition, what are the new schemes you will offer? Look at the very interesting thing in Madhya Pradesh. Shivraj Singh Chauhan says, I am going to give now 1,000 rupees Ladli Behna. He earlier had Ladli Lakshmi, which were for daughters up to the age of 21 for their education. Now Ladli Behna, which is for all women, 1,000 rupees per month. What does Kamal Nath do? I will give 1,500. You're giving 1,000 in your last year, I will give 1,500. So the battle for freebies, Revdi, whatever you call it, guarantees will go on. But a very interesting point made by someone who's part of this Congress's election strategy is that in these states, the OBC factor, the backward caste, scheduled tribe coalition that the Congress wants to construct, which to some extent was successful in Karnataka where the Congress did very well in SC/ST seats. We are going to try that experiment here by testing the caste census and lifting, if necessary, the reservation gap leading into 2024. I.e., we will say we will demand a caste census. If we come to power, we will have a caste census, and reservation will be on the basis of the numerical strength of each caste. Because one of the things that the Congress has lost out in North India and Central India in recent times has been this OBC, SC, ST vote, which is critical in a state like Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh in particular.
Which was traditionally the Congress's vote.
And to some extent in Rajasthan as well. So you pitch the caste census as one of your weapons. I'm not saying it will be successful. All I'm saying is that the Congress, at least for the first time, seems to have understood the importance of reaching out to the OBCs. They've understood the importance of a more localized campaign, of taking control of ticket distribution, doing it in a professional manner. The BJP, on the other hand, has already started campaigning for 2024, very aggressive over the last 1 month. They are going across. Every minister of this government, every weekend, is in some part of the country saying 9 years of the Modi government, what have we done? Mera booth, sabse mazboot. They've started all those campaigns. The BJP has the resources, they have the Modi factor. The question is, will that be as successful in a state election as it is in the Lok Sabha? Karnataka, to that extent, offers some kind of hope to the Congress and is a bit of an alarm bell warning signal to the BJP.
Rajat Kidwai, this is something speculative because, of course, the shake-up or the expected revamping of the AICC hasn't quite really happened in terms of the CWC. There's a lot, the spotlight on Priyanka Gandhi itself. Is there a possibility this time that Priyanka Gandhi moves from a campaigner Priyanka Gandhi to a candidate Priyanka Gandhi? Well, at least that's what we've seen. Karnataka, she's the one who gave the guarantee. She's the one who got into a temple of Hanuman to pray. Same in Madhya Pradesh. She's the one who handed out and said that we're going to give you the guarantees. She's the one who prayed at the ghats where Lord Hanuman was concerned. Where clearly it seems the Mohabbat ki dukaan in charge, the ideological, head of it all is Rahul Gandhi, while Priyanka Gandhi is the one who's going to actually run the dukaan.
Yes, I think, Preeti, you have summed it very well. The Congress is going to use Priyanka Gandhi as an effective campaigner in state elections. We have seen doing that in Himachal, we saw that in Karnataka, and now she is doing it in a big way in Madhya Pradesh. Remember, the Congress actually calculates, so they don't want to repeat that Uttar Pradesh experience or experiment where Priyanka Gandhi held 206 public meetings and they were well attended, but Congress ended up getting just 2 seats. And that explains my theory why you see more of Priyanka imprints in Madhya Pradesh and not so in Rajasthan, because the Congress is quite reasonably assured of its doing well in Madhya Pradesh, while it's not too sure about repeating it in Rajasthan, and that's why Priyanka Gandhi is doing it. Rahul Gandhi is there as a more like a ideologue, leader at large, talking about big ideological issues, taking on Narendra Modi and all. Congress has done all this calculation, so they're going to fight elections on local issues. They're not going to get into this Hindu-Muslim kind of trap. You look at the Congress in Madhya Pradesh is exhibiting a lot of this, so to say, pro-Hindutva, pro-Hinduism programs, etc. So they are making a distinction in what was in
and she's quite unabashed, playing the soft Hindutva card, which clearly Rahul Gandhi always seems wary of doing. But Arkip, Upadhyay, I want to bring you in on this. The more pluralistic face Rahul Gandhi, the more ideological, going and meeting mechanics, sitting with truck drivers. Do you see him possibly, he might not even fight the election? Do you see that shift happening where Priyanka Gandhi is concerned, and if so, is it too late already? Because Priyanka Gandhi hasn't been quite consistent herself.
No, I think one thing he learned during the Karnataka elections was he should leave it to others for campaigning. I think he realized that he's not such a big vote catcher, and it was Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar who were all over the place. The campaigning was done mainly by them. Priyanka Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi made a few appearances here and there, but then they left the most of the campaigning to them. So probably if they adopt that kind of a method in other states also, I mean, you use the strength of the local leaders, it could give them a better results than that has been possible for them. So I think to that extent, the Rahul Gandhi has learned his lessons, I think. But will they be able to replicate it in other states? One has to wait and see. But in Karnataka, I mean, BJP, on the other hand, having lost the elections, their house is not in order. 1.5 months now, and they have not been able to even name a leader of the opposition or the new party president. And there is a lot of infighting going on as to who should be the leader of the opposition, who should be the state president. So, to that, so when you lose an election, you see the wrong side of the whole thing, and how they find it difficult to keep the house.
Rajdeep, I want to bring you in for a final comment. Where the issue of the role of the Gandhis is concerned, too speculative, too early, there's still some time there, or do you at least, but we're just going by with what we are seeing. There seems to be a definitive role that both of them are taking over. Do we see Priyanka Gandhi move from campaigner to candidate? Do you see her fight an election in the next 1 year?
Whether it's deliberate or otherwise, you're quite right that there is seemingly a division of labor. Rahul Gandhi does these sort of feel-good events where he sort of reaches out to the Aam Aadmi in a way, projects himself as a leader, not of the, not a VVIP, but someone who will go and meet truck drivers, dhaba walas, will sort of give himself a more touchy-feely, pro-people image. While Priyanka Gandhi does the sort of campaigning at election time, does a bit of what some would call soft Hindu campaigning, those images that you saw by the banks of the Narmada, is the fiercer campaigner. Rahul Gandhi is much more positioning himself as some kind of an ideological opponent to Narendra Modi. Whether this division of labor will work or not, I am not sure. I still believe eventually the Congress's success or failure in these state elections, Preeti, depends on local arithmetic. How well are you going to be able to localize the election, take it away from a Gandhi's versus Prime Minister Modi battle into a battle at state level leaders? At least the Congress for one seems to be recognizing that, the importance of empowering regional leaders, state leaders. And that's perhaps the first step. Have what I've been calling in some columns the Pepsi-Cola model. You can have whoever is CEO or Chairman Emeritus sitting in Delhi, but eventually you need strong regional managers. And that's exact. Kamal Nath, Bhupesh Baghel and Ashok Gehlot, all three empowered, and to some extent even Revant Reddy in the state of Telangana is far more empowered than many other leaders.
All right, gentlemen, I'm sorry to cut you short. That's all the time that we have for. Appreciate all three of you for joining us. We are going to, of course, have many of these shows going ahead. Thank you.